So, good morning, friends. Today, in the second session, we are having Professor Giri Babu from Department of Economics, Mizoram University. We had actually reserved his slot in the fourth week on 25th of November. But because Professor Mehta, whose session was scheduled now, had some very urgent work, so he requested at last moment. So we shifted his lecture somewhere in the end of the session, end of the fourth week. And we requested Professor Giri Babu to be here for this session. And thankfully, he accepted our last moment request. And he's ready with his presentation. So, Professor Giri Babu, sir, now the time is yours. We are having some 28 participants in this course. They are all from different colleges and university throughout the country. Some 14, 15 are from northeastern region, and others are from southern part of India or central part of India. Uh, and so the time is yours, and these are faculty induction programs. So it is from different fields. They are not from one subject. All subjects mix up is there. And the topic sir has chosen for today's discussion is Skill India Mission and Entrepreneurship Development in NER, Northeastern Region. So sir, time is yours, you may take. And sir, you know that the participants are not having access to audio. So they will be giving their questions in chat box or Q&A box. So at the end, I will ask these questions to you.
Okay, sir, no problem, sir.
Okay, sir, you may start.
Yes. Yeah, good morning to all. This is Prof Giri Babu. So maybe I'm knowing some people also, I don't know, but anyhow, so today my presentation, I'm going to talk on Skill India Mission and Entrepreneurship Development, mainly Northeast region. So maybe two parts. Mainly we are going to talk about the Skill India Mission first.
So this is your PPT is not in
and
presentation.
After that, I'll talk about yes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Sir, is it visible? No, I think.
It seems, sir, it's not gone full screen. Still, that side panel is still there. So click again. I think, sir, it's not properly clicked.
Still not coming, sir.
No, not coming, sir.
What do I?
Anyway, then you continue or F5 from slideshow. Just check the fifth menu. Yeah, after that, not designs. After that.
Still, I think that usually my laptop is coming full screen.
Okay. So some setup related problems, sir. So let it be. Let's continue, sir. But you have to click on the slides in that case. It will not move.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
From the side panel, you have to click.
Okay. No problem. Yeah, once again, good morning. This is a Skill India Mission. I think everybody also a problem of unemployment, and government also telling we are not having business to do business. So giving the more importance to train or educate that through Skill India missions, mainly consider vocational training or technical training to choose their own employment opportunities. So based on that, the government of India initiated. So you can see here mainly what is the Skill India, particularly the Skill India or skill development is an important indicator nowadays. I think, as a populated country like India, where we have more than 138 to 140 crores. So at the same time, I think recently the development, World Development Report also showing 106 rank, 1/6 rank out of 120 countries where the poverty index or hunger index is taking place. So in case we want to overcome the poverty or malnutrition condition, I think we had to promote or we have to develop the, you can say, the employment or employability conditions. So based on that, the skill development is an important indicator to address the poverty eradication or elimination and enhancing the employability, productivity, and inclusive growth. Mainly, for example, here in India, we have the democratic country where you can see like the many religion, many communities, or many castes. You can see like the many, regional differences. So based on here, mainly the Prime Minister of India launched the Skill India mission in 2015 with an aim to help the India become Atmanirbhar. Atma, I think everyone is common word now, the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the self-reliant conditions. So based on that, the government of India giving the more importance or more, you can say, prominence, particularly to launch the Skill India mission, mainly to establish and implement comprehensive skill development training programs, particularly talking about nowadays, the government jobs is very difficult to get. Nowadays, I think, the many companies or many MNCs, they are firing the jobs. Many people are losing the jobs conditions. So in this condition, mainly you can like, involving or joining in private sector, and sometimes many times we know when you're going to get the fire from the companies. So based on that here, when you're having the knowledge on how we can work or how we can develop. So based on that, the Skill India mission was to establish and implement a comprehensive skill development training program. These programs would assist to bridge the gap between the industry demands and the skill requirements. For example, today we have some states, mainly like Tamil Nadu or Haryana or Punjab or even many the NCR regions, we have very good industries. Mainly like, so when the people are mainly the many industries, they require a very, you can say like the trained people, but unfortunately we are not in position to provide the sufficient number of manpower. So based on here, mainly when we have the demand side, we have the more demand, the same side, the supply side, we are not having much. So based on that, mainly if we want to divert, you can say like when we have the unlimited supply of labor existing in agriculture, when you want to take diversion toward the industrialized, particularly to promote the industrial development or economic development, that training progress, means the skill development programs very important. So based on the here, after almost we are celebrating the 75 years of independence as Atmanirbhar Bharat, it's like the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsavam. So recently, the government of India and my Prime Minister, as a chief guest, they organized one. The first.
Sir, sorry
Yes,
to disturb. Your PPT is not moving.
Oh, still the first one is there.
Yeah, first one is there. Yes, sir. Title sheet.
Okay.
I think, sir, you have to click on the side panel, that slides. Left side panel. Click on the second and third slides like that. Manually.
Okay.
Yes. Now we are seeing the third. Yes. Now.
Yes.
What is Skill India?
Then I'll go with the small. Yeah.
Yes. A small one.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah, that's okay. That's right. So based on that, I think the government of India, mainly the Prime Minister, the first time, so he organized one convocation mainly for ITA students. So every university, every time we are having the convocation, but mainly the technical training institutes like industrial training institutes like IDI is the first ever the Kausal Dikshan Samra. I think convocation conducted recently. And almost the skill development as the way to develop a future-ready workforce under the fourth industrial revolution. I think we have many industrial revolutions, 1948 and 1956 or 1971. And nowadays, I think you can select the fourth industrial revolution with the quick decisions to the fast implementation. Mainly, you can select quick decision and fast implementation, operating the vision for 2047 at the Amrit Kal. I think, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to Amrit Kal with the main mantra, skilling, reskilling, and upskilling direction to the better future of the new India. So mainly basis of that, mainly the Skill India mission was is initiated, or you can select now implementing all over the country to establish and implement a comprehensive skill development training program to train more and more. I think mainly you can select the 50 million people, almost the 50 crores of population youth. We are going to train, I think we can select the by 2022, but unfortunately we are not succeeded. We are trained around 12 million people. I think 12 crores of population only we are given. So based on that here, particularly the why we need still, I think it's like India is facing a paradoxical situation of which significant number of youth entering the labor market. Every year, I think we are entering the more than 12 million population, but unfortunately, we are not in position to provide the employment opportunities. I think there is a mismatch between the education employment conditions. So particularly in India, you can see like even after getting the PhD, after completing PhD, people are working in the small schools and small colleges, because where there is a mismatch between the education and employment. Based on that, here mainly the significant number of youth entering the labor market without job opportunities on one hand. On the other part, particularly can say there are many industries coming forward, even the foreign NRIs, or you can say the people are coming and establishing the industry in India, where the industry have been complaining of the unavailability of appropriate skilled manpower. It means, see, for example, India is a agrarian country where all the now I think you can say the diversification taking place. The majority of agriculture people now are diverting towards a non-agricultural sector. So based on that, here mainly the way we are set up the more and more industries, we are not getting the sufficient, the trained or technical people work in the industrial sector. So based on that, the many industries asking, we need, still there are a lot of vacancies available if the people are having the skilled training conditions. So based on that, the challenge magnifies when coupled with the inherent socio-economic disparities and increasing the migration of labor from agriculture to manufacturing sector and service sectors. Now I think not even the 48% of the population directly depending on agriculture, and remaining, I think, it's like the service sector as well as industry sector, the providing more and more a significant number of employment conditions. So based on that, here mainly the benchmark of success for any nation across the world is thriving economy strengthened by the numerous factors, including global trade, the flourishing population, employability supported by the education skill development is taking place. Based on that, having 15 years, the labor force in the industrialized world is expected to decline 4%, while in India, it's going to be increased 32%. It means, I think the way we are seeing now, the commercialization, mechanization, modernization, corporatization of agriculture, now displacing the labor force, mainly if you want to do all the activities, now we have the appropriate machines are available. So because of that, now the displacing labor from the agriculture, now they're unemployed. Even agriculture itself is a seasonality employment condition. So based on that, the coming 10 to 15 years, the increase, I think you can slide the India, it will be increased more than 32% who are not sufficiently skilled and employable by fresh entrants to the workforce of 104.62 million. In addition, what existing 298.25 millions to enhance the demographic dividend. It is critical to improve the employability of youth skill developments. Mainly, you can like, for example, if you want to absorb, you want to provide the employment opportunities, particularly like the mainly thing is we have to give the priority to provide the technical and vocational training, mainly like where we're talking about nowadays, entrepreneurship, or like mainly MSMEs, or many other small scale industry, teeny industry, or household industry are coming up very fast. So based on the Startup India, Stand Up India, there are many other the programs are implementing or initiating the government of India. So based on that, why we need Skill India, mainly why we had to provide the vocational training or technical training for the people through providing mainly like giving the opportunity to employ their own self-employment, or you can like other private sector employment, or you can say like this employability increases. So based on here, the government of India initiated implementing many schemes, the special schemes initiated under the Skill India mission. I think there are many schemes initiating implemented. I think there are some of the schemes are given here. The some short-term training programs and long-term training schemes. Mainly the short-term training courses implemented by national NSDC, the National State Development Council, where you can select the Pradhan Mantri Kausal Vikas Yojana. It's one of the main important program. I think you can like implementing each and every corner. I think every state they're implementing the Pradhan Mantri Kausal Vikas Yojana and Jan Shikshan Santan. I think that is also another important. Rozgar Melas, Pradhan Mantri Kausal Kendras, the capacity building schemes, the school initiative higher education, Udan schemes, all familiar names only. The Indian International Skill Centers, pre-departure oriented training, PDOT. These are the certain programs, mainly the National State Development Councils are taking care about that. And similarly, the other one, the long-term training, mainly you can select craftsman training schemes, the crafts instructor training schemes, the advanced vocational training schemes, so vocational training program for women, particularly to provide the women empowerment or all, whatever the trainings for them, and schemes for upgradation of mainly the industrial training institutes and strive the initiative for Northeast region and no low, you can select the particularly the Himalayan region, all low workforce regions, and dual system of training, DST and polytechnic. I think you know politics now, so everywhere, every corner we have the politics, mainly IITs and triple IITs also, Industry Institute of Technology. There are many schemes. Similarly, apart from this, I think we have some more programs like apprentice programs, mainly the National Apprenticeship Promotion Schemes, Entrepreneur Schemes, Pradhan Mantri Yuva Yojanas, National Entrepreneurship Awards, and pilot projects on entrepreneurship. Mainly because of that, I think now, you know, the new education policy is initiated mainly interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary courses also initiating for each and every school or college level or university level. Mainly people are even each and primary school to the university higher education, because every student has to know the knowledge in different field also. So based on that, the other schemes like skill loan scheme, the Indian Institute of Skills, the skill acquisition, Sankalp, mainly the skill acquisition of knowledge and qualification, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. These are the major schemes mainly to promoting or providing or enhancing or accelerating the training skills, or mainly consider people have to get the training. Mainly when the government having the opinion about we are not having, see, because the government is having the opinion, no, it means they are directly they're telling with the finance ministry or no finance ministry or you can say prime minister directly telling about the government has no business to do business, because they are, I think in future, I don't think so the government is going to provide the adequate or sufficient employment opportunities. Because of that, each and every student, each and every individual has to learn something technical skills to they start their business or entrepreneurship, or you can say they enter any whatever the appropriate or suitable jobs what you're going to get. So based on that, these are the major schemes what the government implementing, not only in one state or not only one region, the entire country, they're implementing the schemes of the mainly the training skills. And so particularly if we see the background, I think how what are the developments or what are recently initiatives or what are the recent achievements taken by the meets made by the government of India, overview of skills and animation, what is like now the human resource requirements. The people I think they need now, I think it's like the requirement of human resources, we need almost 614.2 million people per 24 sectors. I think we have 24 sectors. I think we have the list also. Similarly, incremental training needs across 34 sectors, 1,284.1 lakhs, the number we need. And number of operational training centers, I think across the country under the Prime Minister Kausal Vikas Yojana around 1,484, and Pradhan Mantri Kausal Kendra 717, and Jan Santan around 309, and industrial training institutes mainly we at present, I think all over India, we have 14,716 working under that. So based on that, the NSDC and the aegis of Ministry of Development and Entrepreneurship, Emerging Technologies. I think everyone knows. I think maybe different backgrounds we have, and maybe science also. The cyber security, artificial intelligence, the big data analytics, the cloud computing, blockchains, robotic process automation, Internet of Things, virtual reality, and there are many you can select. So far, more than around 55,000 candidates have been trained under the future sector. People are starting their cyber centers, in the internet cafes. So based on the people coming, they're charging, and the base of speed of internet also charging. So based on that, now everyone, the youth, particularly where we have the more than the 49% of the entire population comes under the youth population. Now they are just searching for the employability, or kind of like searching for new jobs. Based on that, in the area of long-term training and the directed Directorate General of Training, the new ACE course design, presently there are around 142 ITIs, which a total of 5,644 seats that provide the new ACE courses like the smart agriculture, the 3D printing, the smart city. I think you know the smart city is also how it's working. So based on that, everything they're getting in the, you can start giving the more and more importance for training, vocational as well as other things. Similarly, you can see here, particularly the skill development achievements. What are the achievements? Mainly the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Kendras as per the 2021 31st October. So how you can select the particularly 2015-16 and 16-17 as you can select the other years also. So here the mainly the Prime Minister Kaushal Vikas Yojana as on 31st, around 109 lakh candidates have been trained, oriented across the country. And 813, the Prime Minister Mr. Kaushik Kendra has been allocated till almost 707 districts. And 717 PMKK, there is a Prime Minister Kaushik Kendra is currently established as on the date of covering 619 districts. The benefits under the Jan Sansthan Siksta, I think you can slide that during the 2021 target is 4,02,544, and whereas enroll is 3,59,796, whereas trained almost the same equal number, whereas access 3,58,296, and with the total number of the people certified or certificates got, I think 3,57,011 candidates, 11 students. So based on that, I think these are the major development, particularly how many people are getting the train and getting the certified and train and enroll all the conditions. Similarly here, particularly the budget allocation Skill India mission during the 2021-22, I think you can select 5,010 crores. They allotted in different aspects, mainly development skills, the national apprenticeship promotions, entrepreneur skill development programs, strengthening the infrastructure for institute training, the strengthening skill institutions, supporting regulatory institutions. These all I think you can select around 9 Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So all I think you can say Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana given the highest budget. You can see here the 2,505 the crores they given a lot for almost 9 schemes what they're given. So based on that, mainly the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, one of the main important programs implementing all over the country, even including in Northeast India, where the majority, almost all the 8 states, they're implementing the PMKVY. I think that is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. And here, when coming the particular to the Northeast region, the skill development in Northeast region, what are the major achievements or what are the developments? So mainly, what are the characteristics? I think out of 27 students, 27 faculty, I think you can select around 50% from Northeast region. I think you know better how it is the situation, because for me also almost this is my 16th year in Northeast region where I'm working here. So based on that, the Northeast states have remained one of the underdeveloped and untapped regions of the country due to various reasons. Mainly, you can select still, I think, though we have the very rich potential of our resources, we have very good resources, we have very good international boundary, we have. So, but still we are lagging, we are just underdeveloped as well, untapping the regions of the country due to various reasons. Mainly you can select the one is the geographical isolations. So only the chicken neck, I think we can select only Siliguri, only we have the no entry to come, I think from the rest of India. So mainly the geographical isolation, remoteness, and mostly landlocked. Recently, I think when the Assam was flooded, I think almost more than 20-30 days, there was no transportation. Here, the prices of the commodities increased, and many faculty stuck up somewhere like, because no flights also. So based on that, mainly the geographical isolation, mostly landlocked areas, one of the main important constraints or impediment, or you can challenge why the region is not promoting, not developing much. Similarly, the lack of access of market, mainly you can slide the marketing because very limited. See, for example, Mizoram, the geographically very big, but geographically at least some significant level, but number of population, the total population is not crossing 12 to 15 lakhs. That is the market condition also very less. Similarly, the limited connectivity to the rest of India. Mainly, for example, if the bad weather, if there is no, for example, the floods or conditions, earthquakes, I think there is no connectivity to India. So here also sometimes there is when there is no visibility, no flights fly. So limited infrastructure wise also still we are like knowing much about how to do business. For example, if you go to Gujarat, if you go to Rajasthan, the people, they are very familiar how to attract the customers. But here, say for example, people are not still, they're not aware about the how to do the marketing condition, how to do the business situation. So based on that, that is one of the main important things what we have. Similarly, the changing the demand patterns. I think now everywhere, not only Northeast region, everywhere the changing the demand patterns are another important conditions where the people are they were taking diversification, mainly particularly even food habits or whatever the customer thinks also. Similarly, the high-end widespread dependence on government programs. Mainly, for example, I don't know exactly, almost 90 to 93% of total budget coming as a grant from the central government. It means every time we're depending on the government. The government bless, I think we'll be happy. The government curse is not getting. So that's the main problem. Because when we are depending on the government, whatever they're going to send, that we are sorry. It means here, though, there is no generating much income. The high and widespread dependence on government programs and schemes, the main important factor. Because, for example, if the government is not giving any money, other states like Haryana, Punjab, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, whatever, I think they can survive because maybe. But here, when the government is not sending the money, it's not possible to give the salaries for the employees also. That is the main important because except Assam, so they are at least they are contributing much, but Nagaland or Mizoram or some other states, I think mainly depending on the government, helping or assistant what we used to get. Similarly, the stigma against labor-oriented jobs. Mainly, for example, I think if you see the Guwahati, the huge number of population going back to mainly Bangalore or Udaipur or countries like particularly Gujarat or Rajasthan, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad. So mainly the stigma against the labor-oriented job. We're not getting the labor-oriented jobs. Still, I think almost all the 8 sisters that's highly depending on agriculture only. So even the Mizoram or Assam also, we were not having much industry. We're not having much, the industrialization taking place. Similarly, you can say like the dependence on local markets. Mainly, we are getting whatever the local items only. We are mainly depending. If you want to bring it from the Delhi or you can say either Andhra Pradesh or Andhra Parimal or the Basmati, I think we have to pay more expensive. So based on that, the dependence on local market, difficulty in accessing bank rate for enterprises. Mainly, if people wants to go for enterprises, also the banks is not giving much impact, much credit or much loans. The difficulty in accessing, even the people mindset also very important because the people are not willing to take the loans also. For example, my scholars, they did some studies on agriculture credit. Almost 68% of farmers are not willing to avail the credit from the banks because they want to go for self-sufficiency, self-financing. They don't want to go to bank and asking money for borrowing. So that is, I think, difficulty in accessing bank rate for enterprises also. Even we have the Mudra loan, 58 minutes loans also we have. There are government ready to give, even Kishan Melas, credit Kishan Melas they are conducting, but people are not coming forward to take the loans, maybe because I think they're what the mindset, what the attitude, I think we don't know. So based on the difficulty in accessing bank rate for enterprises is another important characteristic, particularly in the Northeast region, why the people are not exploring, mainly like the resources, what we have. So based on here, the skill development Northeast region, recent achievements, particularly you can slide the upgradation of 22 ITAs by introducing 3 new mid-states of ITA with 100% central funding. The supplementing infrastructure deficiency in 28 ITAs by constructing the new hostels. Establishment of 34 new ITAs in 8 northeastern states with 90% central fund and 10% state funding. The launch of national apprenticeship program, mainly against like creating skill manpower in India through the apprenticeship training and establishment of the Ministry of Skill and MSME, that is medium, small and marginal entrepreneurs. So based on that, you can see the table also how much you can see upgradation and the establishment of new ITs and SPMUs and all things. I think you can slide 22 ITAs by introducing 3 new trades in each ITIs. I think recently development was taken place, but still I think from 2016 onwards, the no funding was made. I think before 2016 only they given huge amount, but after that there was not much development giving the funding for development of the ITAs as well as the other schemes also. So based on that, I think you can slide here, the state-wise training details under the Prime Minister Kausal Vikas Yojana, the first, I think you can slide from 2015 to 2016. So where the number of enrollment and number of trained and number of assessed are certified. the both all four categories are very good significant. Maybe it's like enrolling 56,224, the trend 56 the same number, and assessed I think it's 54,464, and certified 34,540. But you can see the placement is very less, very insignificant, very, you can say, meager. Where is 56,000? Where is 9,800? So based on that, whatever the government giving the importance or implementing, or you can say giving that training, whether is it fruitful or not. So based on that, that is, I think you can slide the 9,800.04.01 is very less when compared to 56,000. So based on that, yes, after getting also the people are not getting the technical jobs, mainly where they want to fit. That is the first, first program mainly you can slide first phase of the PMKVY. And the coming to the second stage, I think you can slide the state-wise skill development training details of Northeastern region under the second phase, mainly the centrally sponsored and state management. CSSM means the centrally sponsored and state management. What the central giving the money and state managing. State management is taking place. The state government is taking care about that. So based on here, you can find here the short-term training, including the special projects, the recognition of prior learning, the grand total, mainly you can say state-wise also, almost percentage-wise the same on in the base of population. Mainly you can see here the number of people trained and 1,300 people trained, but 1,21,121. I think in the second phase it was very significant. I think you can select at least almost 30 to 40% the people are placed in the second phase of the PMKVY. I think you can select from 2016 to 2021. And similarly, you can select recognition of prior learning and grand total also. You can find here how many people are trained and how many people are got certified. And similarly, the stage 3, I think you can say this is the centrally sponsored and centrally managed. I think this is the sponsoring, the money 100% sponsored by the central and 100% they're taking care about the training, everything you can say here. The state-wise, you can select particularly the way the trained people 2,18,054 and where the place is 77,900 people. Similarly, you can select the state-wise also. You can see some states are giving a very good impact, particularly some 1,18,000 where 91,000 certified and 44,480 people got, you can select the place. That is, I think you can select Assam got a very significant number of placements, whereas the remaining states, I think, still, I think, insignificant. We had to go a long way to achieve the target as well as the certified people. And here the stage 3, you can select the state-wise details of allocation of funds. So where the fund allocation, mainly particularly from 2015, 2016 to 2021. The how much fund allocated, revised allocation, total fund released, and how much released under allocation, the percentage allocation. You can see here the Nagaland is one of the main, I think they got the entire money, whatever the fund allocation 50,000, revised allocation is 42,036, and the total fund release 42.36%. I think the entire fund they utilized, the use taken, but where you can select the Mizoram is having very less, where 49.25% only the released under the allocations. Mainly where the what they allocated is, you can like the 44.91 crores, but the release only 22.12 crores. It means it depends on, I think, the negotiating and going and mingle with the central government and asking and demanding. It all depends on that. So based on that, maybe, for example, in Nagaland government, I think the BJP is ruling along with the NDPP, that maybe they got the entire money, whatever they got allocated, and they got the full amount. Whereas the Mizoram, I think only just, 49.25 only, that means percentage of money only we got released, and maybe they're demanding or requesting for the remaining amount also. That is, I think you can select state-wise allocation and releasing under the centrally sponsored and state management, the Prime Minister Kausal Vikas Yojana. And so how the skill development is going to be give the economic development. Since I am from economic development, I think, you can just give the brief about how the economic development is going to take place. Now see the government of India, mainly, for example, India as a sector-wise developments, agriculture, industry, or service sector of primary, secondary, tertiary sector. The service sector giving the highest contribution, more than 60% of the GDP in an economy. See, for example, when the service sector giving that much important, that much contribution to the economy GDP, then what is the need of the skill developments. For example, here the question marks. When the service sector is growing rapidly, why India does need a skill development? So already we are contributing. We knows the majority of the we can say the contribution coming from service sector. Then what is still why we need the skill development? Why we spend billions of rupees on skill development or skill enhancement if GDP growth will come from the injection of the liquidity? See, for example, today we are spending the huge crores, I think already also, the huge crores are spending for the skill development programs. The GDP growth will come from injection of liquidity, mainly how it's going to become. The what contribution the Indian GDP will get from the skill development when India is in the path of fourth. Now I think we know the fourth industrial revolution was taking place. So basis of that, why today the economic growth is very slow? What are the factors reasoning or what are the factors determining? Mainly the slow economic growth is a function of lack of skills, no growth of per capita income, and injection of the liquidity. Mainly you can select, for example, during the COVID situation, the Atmanirbhar Bharat, or you can select the 20 lakhs package, 20 lakhs crores package. Now, for example, injecting the liquidity, even the moratorium, banks also given the moratorium, and the expansive monetary and fiscal policy was taken place to inject the more and more liquidity to the people to increase the purchasing capacity through the reducing the interest rate cut and tax rate also reduce and fall in the consumption conditions. So based on here, mainly slow growth, particularly, though our service sector is expanding and absorbing the unskilled manpower, mainly, for example, you can say service sector, what even the karmacharis, or you can say the other things also comes under service sector. Though our service sector is expanding and absorbing the unskilled manpower, but in the long term, the per capita income will come down by increased social expenditure, which will create the ripple impact on the economy. That is one of the main quote unquote impact. See, for example, today we are relying on the service sector. See, for example, now unskilled people, even the one who knows the driving, anyone can join the Zomato. Zomato everywhere. I think cities are even small cities also we have Zomato, or you can say the food delivery systems. See, for example, the population. See, every time it's not possible. It depends on the Zomato food delivery from the other hotels, because maybe occasionally people going to take. It means that I think yesterday I have seen somewhere like Amazon company, they removed almost 16,000 employees. It means that again, because once the productivity, the marginal physical productivity of labor is going to become zero, so no additional labor is going to be created. So basis of that, here the Zomato or Ola drivers, for example, in Mizoram, we can find the huge number of taxi drivers, or you can select huge number of the scooty drivers, means scooty taxis. How many people of them they're getting that drives per day, how much money they're earning. So when there is a huge supply, then there is no demand. What is the use? So based on that service sector also, see, for example, the people, those who are having the unskilled labor, when they entering the Zomato or Ola driver or Uber driver or different other temporary jobs, it's not possible to expand, because, for example, when there is a limited the capacity is there, it's not possible. So based on that, though we are showing our service sector is expanding, our service sector contributing more, but this type of jobs is not going to create any long run economic development. So based on that, when educated people don't find a suitable job due to lack of skills, then they get absorbed in this type of service industry, which creates a ripple effect on the society on a bigger scale over the generation. So based on that, mainly, when we are not able to provide the permanent jobs, or you can say technical jobs or skilled jobs, it's not possible to increase the per capita income. Is not possible. For example, today we can say, no, we are the third largest country, highest growing country. By 2047, our Indian economy is going to be highly advanced, or comes under OECD country, like Organization of Economic Cooperative Development countries or developed countries. But how it's going to be happens? Because see, by providing, for example, sometimes like in Andhra Pradesh, the voluntary system is taken place, paying 5,000 rupees per month. That is not going to create the much impact on the consumer behavior, because 5,000 to what you're going to get, how you're going to survive the entire month. So based on that here, mainly how the ripple effect is going to be taken place if we are not going to alert to provide the skill development, because the providing Zomato or Ola drivers, this is not going to be possible to expand at maximum level in the future, because there will be limited capacity, are limited, you can select source are limited, you can say demand will be taken place. So based on that, interstate tax cut down will not create eligibility. For example, during the COVID situation, the government of India to increase the purchasing capacity, mainly the tax rate as well as interest rate cut downs are like particularly the contraction in monetary policy was taken place. The interest rate and tax cut will not create eligibility for doing skilled job when the base of the skill required to do the job through technological advancement and double the productivity. Mainly the government of India as well as state government, they had to come forward to enhance the productivity instead of the giving the many, you can say like the tax cut downs or you can say like the interest rate cut downs. So when you want to double the productivity, when you want to increase the productivity, we need, you can say technology, we need the technical skill, we need the skill nature, skill development. So based on that, one needs to understand when the labor force with the skill education is enhanced, when the labor force with the skill education is enhanced, the employment gets into the picture, which actually drives the consumption and not by lowering the tax and interest rate to borrow and spend the people. That is very important. We have to give the more and more skill development or skill education or educational education to increase the employment, mainly to enhance the employment, to get into the picture when actually drive the consumption by not by the lowering or not by decelerating or not by declining the tax rate or interest rate. So based on that, when you're going to increase, when you're going to improve the productivity, when you're going to accelerate productivity, then the development is going to take place. But that I think we have to employ more and more skill development skills. Because of that, I think, for example, in agriculture, 1947, the total production is not more than 48 million tons. And today we're talking about the 316.68 million tons production we produce in a year, even during the COVID situation. Why? Because we have the technology, we have the high yielding variety seeds, we have the genetically modified seed, we have the chemical fertilizers, pesticide, weedicide, herbicide, fungicide, or you can say mechanization, machinery we have. So based on that here, mainly how we are going to, because if someone wants to run the power tiller or tractors or harvesting combiner, even threshers or winnowers, they need techniques. So because of that, now we have the ITS providing a lot of the diesel mechanics, electrician, peters, or so self-help employment, mainly can like weaving, tailoring, the different techniques their employees like providing, at least they can do their own job opportunities. So based on that, the skill development, which includes the technical and vocational training and life learning, are central for sustainable productivity, which creates the better jobs as well as and increase the job opportunities. Mainly can say skill development, which includes the technical and vocational training and life learning, are central for the sustainable productivity. To increase the productivity condition is very important. So based on that, if Indian economy wants to grow at 8 to 9% per annum, mainly can like here, if Indian economy wants to grow at 8 to 9% per annum, if per capita GDP grow at from the current level to $2,191 only. At present, the per capita income for India is only $2,191. If you want to make it 8,000 to 10,000 by 2030, or if India will graduate from being low income country to middle income or developed country by 47, like already government of India is telling, by 2047 India wants to be a highly developed country, it will not possible unless the skill of the labor is enhanced to work on the footprints of fourth industrial revolution or advanced technology by enhancing employability and labor productivity and helping the nation to become more competitive. So based on that, how the government is going to initiate, how the government giving the importance, how government emphasizing the main importance, particularly that to promoting, to enhancing the skill development or skill training programs, because the government aim is to become the highly advanced country, a developed country by 2047, and per capita income has to increase from 2,192 to 8,000, minimum $8,000 per head. I think it is not possible until we are going to provide, you have to improve or you have to enhance the productivity as well as employability through promoting or providing the technical skills or skill development schemes. That is, I think, main motive why the government of India wants to initiate or wants to implement or wants to introduce the Skill India mission in the promoting economic development condition. And similarly, today, I think we can slide skill development and need of the hour, mainly particularly as for according to the Human Development Index or Human report 2020 in India, only 1 in 5 of labor force is skilled. It means only our total population, 21.2% of the labor only having the skill nature. It means still almost 88% they're not having, almost 79%, 78%, 78 you can say 78.8%, they're not still unskilled. So based on that, the study on National State Development Council, Skill Development Council, that indicates that there will be a need for about 12 crore of skilled manpower by 2022 to fill the gap in 24 sectors through the providing proper skill training. The connecting basic education to technical training on the lines of international level, the adopting holistic approach to vocational education and skill development for both short term, long term, and maintain the update a national level database labor market information system. So based on that, there is an urgent need to take a look at the effectiveness of current education system and need for availability of job opportunities by establish and expand the industry to the forefront to realize the Skill India dream in India as well as in Northeast region. So based on that, why the Skill India mission is promoting or enhancing or accelerating the development of economy, mainly not only India in Northeast region. So based on that, how we are going to explore. So see, for example, those who are all faculty members, no problem. But particularly, you are going to teach your students how, for example, the government is already told that no, we don't have any business to do business. It means we are going to monetize even the public sector undertakings by earning almost $6 trillion or $5 trillion by 2025 or 2030. It means that in future, there is no government jobs available, mainly in colleges, except the college higher education systems, in mainly the industries, particularly you can slide the PSU, public sector undertakings, we are not going to get the employment. For that, how we are going to explore, how we're going to guide, how we're going to motivate, how we're going to teach your students how to explore the entrepreneurship development in your region. I think that we're going to talk now. The exploring entrepreneurship in your regions, how you're going to bring or promote entrepreneurship developments, particularly how the exploring the entrepreneurship development in your region is one of the main important, again, aspects, how. So why we need promote entrepreneurship? Actually, for example, as of 2011 census, around 41% of population of India is underneath the age of 20 years, and half of the population is 20 to 59 years, and only 9% is over the above 60 years. It means you can see almost more than 70+% of the population is the youth population. This is the highest in the world. India is having the very good youth population. So basis of that, the youth unemployment is being recognized as one of the problems that could grow into global proportion in the coming years, causing socio-economic problems for the society. I think everyone knows about that. When the Agnipanth was started, the huge agitation was started. Mainly, can the people they don't want that scheme, mainly providing only 4-year employment. After that, the government is going to give some loans or money to go and set up your enterprises or whatever is the condition. So based on that, there is no guarantee for maybe up to I want to work up to 65 years or 70 years or 60 years. There is no chance, mainly because of that. The youth unemployment is being recognized as one of the main important problem in India. As per World Bank estimates, we need almost 650 million, almost 65 crores of jobs, 650 million new jobs in the next 10 years to just keep as a global employment rates constant. Not increasing employment, not decreasing employment. To maintain the constant level, what today we have, what is percentage? For example, in urban areas, you have 8% unemployment, and rural areas almost 10 to 11% unemployment. To maintain the same condition, I think we need more than 650 million new jobs in the world. Similarly, the International Labour Organization estimates about 75.2 million the world unemployments are young people. Just imagine about 36% of the people are unemployed, youth people. So based on that, the young job seekers make up 49% total unemployed in India, where the 93% of available work provided by the informal sector like agriculture, we have more than 48 to 50%, and remaining non-farm activities, they're giving some around 20 to 30%. So based on that, 93% of available work provided by the informal sector, it means that just 7% only formal or government sector of the white collar jobs we have. So based on that, is still very the meager, or you can say like we had to go long way to meet the full employment condition, where the classical economist talks about there is a full employment, but now I think there is an unemployment scenario. So based on that here, the government has already told, I think that the government has not been able to give enough openings. Mainly nowadays, I think it's not possible to give the sufficient job condition for work to the all jobless people. And last year, our honorable minister, our prime minister stated that the government has no business to do business, and the government has announced its intention to monetize about 5 trillion worth of assets held public sector units. I think you can say like by letting the private sector bid for operating such assets by 25 years. I think they're going to give for a lease, and they're going to earn, I think, $5 to $6 trillion for that. So based on that here, mainly the government of India focusing mainly on the stable, the business environment and market-oriented initiative like Make in India, Digital India, Mudra Yojanas, Atal Innovation Mission, 50 minutes loan, Stand Up India, Startup India. There are many programs. I think there are many, you can say the government of India bringing the many schemes and programs to attract the people, to encourage the people, mainly aspiring the ambitious young Indians in recent years. So based on that, the India has become an emerging market for global investors. I think now Prime Minister also went Bali, I think Indonesia, for running the G20 conference or G20, you can say like the gatherings. So you can say like how we can attract, how we are going to represent from Indian scenario. So based on that here, the entrepreneurship is majorly contributing to the country's economy, the only way through the which enough jobs can be created for such a huge populace consistently is by creating an environment for entrepreneurship and innovation. So based on that, nowadays, the government of India giving the more and more importance to promote the entrepreneurship or enterprises. So based on that, entrepreneurship development is one of the main important. Now, I think in coming future, this will be one of the main important employment opportunity, or you can say creating jobs, or you can say set up or setting your own enterprises and getting your own job. That is the only way, I think, in coming future. So based on that here, how we are going to explore it. See, for example, if you want to be a good entrepreneur, if you want to get the entrepreneurship, see, for example, though you're already faculty means, I think you can say like we are teaching the students, scholars or students, whatever. So how we are going to explore, when you want to promote, when you want to develop the entrepreneurship, how we are going to explore the sources. Mainly you can say like what characteristics of the region led your interest in cultivating entrepreneurship as an economic development strategy. What are the characteristics? For example, we have to know about that. What characteristics I have? I think maybe I am from Silsar, I am from Aizawl, I am from Gauhati, I am from, you can say like the Mukokshung or Dimapur or Hyderabad or Bangalore, whatever. You can say like what characteristics of the region led your interest in cultivating entrepreneurship as an economic development strategy. So that I think you have to be important, but we have to keep in mind. What regional clusters do you hope to advance? What regional cluster do you hope to advance with entrepreneurship development? The regional clusters, for example, when you want to set up, when you want to bring in the enterprises, I think we should know about what are the major, the supply demand condition, what are the major raw materials, what are the major things we are available. So based on that, what regional clusters do you hope to advance with entrepreneurship development and explore the tools and resources necessary to develop a plan of action to enhance the regional entrepreneurship developments. Mainly, we have to explore it, the tools and resources necessary. When, for example, if I want to start MSME, or you can select the weavers, or you can select if you want to set up the food processing industry, or you can select weaving industry or textile industry, or you can select the different other the making the tailoring or weaving or knitting or different thing, you know, on the base of the resources are what we are having. For example, in Northeast region, rich potential regarding agro processing industry, we are producing different varieties of fruits and vegetables. So based on that, we have to explore the tools and resources necessary to develop a plan of action to enhance the regional entrepreneurship development. And here, the collective visioning, mainly you can select each district, each region, they may have different entrepreneurial development enterprises. See, for example, each and every district having the uniform, I think, unique conditions, particularly even if you go to any state, any region, any village, or any kind of like Kolasip is there, Mizoram, I think you can say Arkanat is there. Similarly, fisheries is there. So basis of that, I think, each district or region may have the different entrepreneurial, the development experiences. Maybe sometimes where on the base of agriculture crops cultivations, maybe sometimes the cotton is very famous, sometimes sugarcane is very famous, sometimes the fruits are very famous, sometimes vegetables famous, sometimes groundnuts famous. So based on that, I think you can select the how you're going to see the each district and region may have the different entrepreneurial development experience. The what might be possible in your region related to the entrepreneurs. So for example, simply blindly, yes, I got some money from the government of India, Mudra loans are 58 minutes loan. So since I got some 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs rupees, I can immediately start my business. I can immediately start my entrepreneur. That is not the right. I think we have to know about that. There are many activities, many conditions we have to fulfill before starting your entrepreneurship. Based on that, what strategies have you tried? So what are the strategies you are going to try? How effective have they been? So in case, for example, what the strategies I'm going to take, how effective, whether is going to be success or not, how effective have they been, and what strategies have not worked well. For example, in case I'm going to take into this one, whether I'm going to succeed or not. So based on that, the strategy is very important, how we are going to imply, how we are going to, you can say, implement. So based on that, what strategy have you tried? And how effective have they been, and what strategy have not worked well, and how might these experiences influence what you would like to accomplish collectively as a region. So based on that, I think everything you had to question mark. For example, before initiating, before implementing, before introducing any enterprises or entrepreneurship, should think about that. What strategy have you tried, and how effectively have they been, and what strategies have not worked well, and how might this experience influence what you would like to accomplish collectively as a region. Whether you are looking for a manpower from outside or locals from your own region, that you have to be clear. For example, if you want to set up, for example, you are starting the hotel, maybe multi-cuisine restaurant. The people, I think they're asking the north and northeast region or south region, South India food or North India food or northeast region food. Maybe sometimes, for example, in case if the people wants the majority located by the South Indian people, I think we have to get the manpower from South India, how to make idli and how to make dosa, how to make chapati, how to make parota, how to make, because North people also likes chapati, parota, or all things, where South people likes the idli, dosa, or uttapam. So based on that, Northeast people, they like the noodles or you can say sandwich or burger, whatever. So based on here mainly, whether you're looking for manpower from outside or locals from your own region, whether your enterprise wants to be fast growing or slow and steady growing, and what your target to serve local needs or exports. These all things when you want to explore, when you want to set up, when you want to introduce any enterprise or entrepreneurship, I think this you have to keep in mind how we are going to explore it. Whether your enterprise wants to be fast growing, because someone wants to be billionaire within a day, within a month, within a year. The fast growing immediately because they have huge amount, they're starting many branches. They want to go one by one, because instead of putting all money in one sector, I think maybe tomorrow you become beggar also. For example, the one who is investing in capital market, stock market, if lucks along with the whatever they can select the changing kind of scenarios, if lucks attracts you, I think you can become billionaires. Otherwise, the become millionaire means earlier is a billionaire, you can become beggar also. So based on it here mainly, whether your enterprise wants to be fast growing or slow and steady, and what your target to serve, whether your target is to serve only for your own community or only one region or only one state or northeast region or entire India or even export to other countries. So that I think that we have to be a proper plan. I think mainly the design, how we are going to take into consideration, that is very important. Similarly, the assessing regional capacity. What amenities or assets does your region offer that would entice to be entrepreneur to move? What are the amenities? Mainly can select, for example, infrastructure we need. For example, if you want to expand, if you want to promote the commodities, I think we need a lot of amenities we need. Assets also we need. So based on that, what amenities or what asset does your region offer that would entice to be entrepreneur to move? If you are hoping to grow a number and diversity of locally based goods and services, you might look in your own backyard. So based on that, if you are hoping to grow a number and diversity of locality, mainly locally based goods, So mainly, for example, where the majority bring in the commodity, maybe Champai or Long Lane or you can some Amrita, Kolasib or different rice wall. So based on here, mainly if you are hoping to grow a number of diversity of locally based goods and services, for example, in Northeast region, the pears, the plums, jam, fashion fruit, the jackfruits, there are many varieties of different fruits are available. So based on that here, mainly, if you are hoping to grow the number of diversity of locally based goods, you might look into your own backyard and what are the existing gaps. For example, when you want to set up, when you want to establish, when you want to introduce an entrepreneur, if for example, from promoting entrepreneur development, you have to know the existing gaps, the what goods or services do residents currently need. See, for example, in the winter season, since the Northeast region is a highly cold climatic condition, if we are making the small, very lean clothes, I think it's a cotton clothes, the people demands very less. So people needs warm clothes. So based on here, mainly, we have to know about what goods and services do the residents currently need and that are not available within your regions. For example, if everything is available plenty, then what is the need? For example, when you're everyone paper industry, we have Mizoram is one of the famous for producing the bamboos. The each and every region having the paper industries, then what is the need of again setting up the new industries? The way the supply exceeds demand, what is the need of new industries? Because that's why I think always we have to be very careful about what goods and services do residents currently need that are not available within your region. What have you learned about the regional clusters and leakages that may point to need? What you are learned? Because see, for example, we have to study more and more about when you're going to set up an industry or when you're going to set up any, you can say clusters or whatever the other things. I think you have to be know about that, particularly how we are going to start. So what have you learned about the regional clusters and leakages that may point mainly to the need? And do the gaps or unmet needs exist? So mainly you have to know about that. Do the gaps or unmet needs exist in the self-employed or small business in your regions? The unmet needs, mainly what people are demanding, what people are asking, what people are needing, what people are requesting or required. That I think you have to be keep in mind when you want to develop, when you want to bring, when you want to establish entrepreneurship or enterprises. So based on that, that is also an important things what you have to keep in mind. And similarly, the resources for cultivating new entrepreneurs, mainly you can select what are the resources we need. For example, particularly you can select when you want to set up enterprises, when you want to start up or when you want to bring a new enterprises, what are the resources for cultivating new entrepreneurs? Mainly you can select education attainment. See, for example, when you want to start, you can select any industries, paper industry or technical industry or computer industry, whatever industry, I think you can select MSME or you can select entrepreneur, any entrepreneurs. The education attainment, the training and technological assistance with the state and local economic development agencies, the business incubators, accelerators and micro business development organizations. These all things I think we have to know about that, how the education attainment is taking place. The training and technical assistance with the government, how government is giving the training and technical assistance for. For example, when we are running the motor industry, whether Suzuki or you can select, Activa or you can select Hero or Honda, different. But if there is no service points, then what is the use? Because they, along with the company, whatever they're going to sales point, along with that service point also there. So based on that, for example, tomorrow we are going to start your enterprises. If something technical repair was taken place, who will repair, who will do the repairing, means who will do the technical assistance. So based on that, the education attainments has to be taken care about that when you want to be a new entrepreneur. And what the local and economic development agencies, like for example, the entrepreneur skill development, we have the SDC is there, the Minister of Skill and Entrepreneurship is there. And there are many programs already I told like Sankalp. So based on that, many ITIs are there, IITs is there. Now we can select IITs are there. So business incubators are there, mainly can select to promote. The accelerators and micro business development organizations are there. So based on this, all things we have to know about what resources we have, what resources for cultivating new entrepreneurs, mainly consider particularly the one who is not having much knowledge about that, how we are going to get the assistant, how they're going to get the importance, how they're going to get, you can select the, you can say guidance, support, or you can select the conditions. That is very important. Similarly, the financial resources, where you can get the investment, how we can get the access, the credit, accessibility, attaining credit from the banks, and you can select the what are the sources. Mainly you can select the banking corporation, non-banking corporation, microfinance corporation, mudra loans, NABARD, the cooperative banks, the regional rural banks. There are many, financial. Similarly, non-banking corporate, private banks also we have like nationalized banks. The finance resource, where I can get the investment, where I can get the expenditure, capital expenditure. That is also we have to be very clear about that. Yes, so and so I have the some lump sum amount. So where I can get the more important, more investment or credit from source. That is very important. Similarly, the supportive environment, the physical infrastructure, road connectivity, or I can say like communication, technology, ICT. Now we are in digitalization. So for example, even if you want to run the shop also, we need, I think you can slide the UPI, or you can slide PayPay, or Google Pay, or Paytm, or different. Mainly you can slide the support environment also plays a very, very important role. The physical infrastructure, mainly the road connectivity, marketing infrastructure, institution infrastructure, technical training institutions, mainly you can say supportive climatic condition, positive citizen mindset, mainly you can say the supportive climate and positive citizens and community attitudes. Yeah, some people has to encourage. Otherwise, some people, for example, in Indian mindset, the people are 4 types of people we can find. I am good, you are also good. There is one type of always things positive mindset. I am okay, everyone has to okay. Everyone should be okay. That is positive mindset. Some people are there like many, for example, I am okay, the other should not okay. It means the selfishness. The people always thinks about their own. I had to grow, others has to come down. They had to work under me only. That is the other mindset, like selfishness. The other people, if I'm not okay, at least others should be okay. It means the sacrificer. So maybe because of maybe many reasons, but I'm not, the God is given the punishment, the God cursed, but at least others should be okay. It means you can say sacrificer. And some people are very crucial, critical, cruel. If I am not okay, no one should be okay. If I'm not good, everyone should suffer. So basis of that, mainly the positive attitude, mainly the supporting environment means when you want to grow the nearby atmosphere, I think you can say the where you are living, where you're developing, I think the atmosphere also has to be positive. The positive mindset, that is what attitude, the community attitude also very important. So mainly the problem is if you want to climb it, someone was pulling your leg. That is dangerous. For example, the encouragement has to be there. If you are not going to encourage, don't discourage. That I think we can say support environment is very important to grow any business or entrepreneurship. Similarly, the business and marketing resources. Who are the target customers? You have to think about that. Who are the target customers for whom I'm producing, to whom I am making these productions? And what do they need from me? So what I'm seeing, for example, today I'm going to produce. So what they're expecting something from me. So based on that, I had to change, because now you can say the society going very dynamic way. Every day the needs are changing. So what do they need from you? And what are your region's most competitive assets? Mainly, for example, when you want to develop your entrepreneurship in your own region, what are your region's most competitive assets? And what assets can help to launch the new ideas and innovations? So what are the assets we have to improve, to innovate, to introduce something better than others? So based on that, what assets can help to launch the new ideas and innovations? These are important things what you have to keep in mind when you want to promote, when you want to bring the entrepreneurship development. So based on that, I think you can select the last 2 slides. The Northeast region, mainly you can slide the passing through the phase of demographic transition, which could be biggest opportunity for the regions through the utilization of its youth potential into the workforce. Mainly you can slide the Northeast region. We have very good youth population we have, but unfortunately you can say despite the fact of this, there are significant number of training partners, academic institutions, vocational training centers located in this region. the youth in these states still lagging behind to get the practical exposure and vocational skills. The quality in training with the disconnection between the what is being taught and institution and what the industry needs. That is not only Northeast region, entire the country. I think nowadays, I think new education policy was initiated. I think my students also, they're going to other departments to learn the interdisciplinary minor and majors. OE also we have. But now mainly something, for example, in case this main motive to learn each and every subject, each and knowing knowledge about or expanding or enhancing or enriching the knowledge in other subjects, there's no doubt, but you should not ignore about what the society needs. See, for example, always I'm teaching the agriculture economics, rural development sector, or economics environment, or you can say demography, or you can say like labor economics or industrial economics. But where the people needing econometricians, the people needing the financial econometrics. So because based on that here, mainly the lagging, particularly the disconnection between what is being taught at institution and what the industry needs. The industry needs the vocational training, the industry needs the technical skill, the industry needs the skill knowledge. But what the people are studying for getting the degrees, there is not a sufficient. Based on that, mainly today, why the government of India coming forward to make the Skill India mission? Because what we're teaching in the universities or institution, which is not useful to enter the industry where the industry needs some technical skills. So based on here, what is being taught at the institution and what the industry needs is totally different. Because of that, there is a disconnection between, like already I told, the mismatch between the education and employment. The mismatch between education and employment, mainly what he is learning here and what enter of that. For example, after completing BCom or MCom or MBA or whatever, after joining the corporates like software industry, they're asking some many programmings. C, C++, Java, or whatever different for ASP or XML. So he was not doing much because he is talking about mercantile, he is talking about the business economics, he is talking about the accountings. But they're asking the financial advisor, they're asking the programmings. So based on that here, mainly there is the quality in education, quality in training with the disconnection between the what is being taught and its institution and what the industry needs is very important. So based on that, according to that, I think the government of India coming forward to being the Skill India mission and entrepreneurship development to promoting. So based on that here, the Northeast region is currently experiencing a now acute shortage of skilled, vocationally qualified individuals. So mainly you can select, for example, here, there are many industrial clusters we have, is currently experiencing an acute shortage of skilled and vocational qualified individuals in one hand, on the other hand, an oversupply of degree qualified job seekers. Every year, even Mizoram University, every year producing more than 1,500, 2,000 students completing. Altogether, I think you can select Pasunga College as well as Mizoram University, 6,000 students are enrolling, and almost you can select the 6,000 students getting their degrees. But after that, what they're doing? So after seeing somewhere road, so what are you doing? Sir, nothing, sir, I'm sitting at home. Some people thought, sir, I got jobs. Some people to still then means. So based on here, mainly the Northeast region is currently experiencing an acute shortage of skilled, vocationally qualified individuals on one hand. On the other hand, the oversupply of degree qualified job seekers needs the government to take the proactive steps to expand the public-private partnership model. Mainly it's like the PPP model and initiate and expand the numerous special skill development schemes through enhancing the skill development infrastructure in Northeast region. Mainly you can select particularly Northeast region where we have the population, less population, as well as you can select already I told the characteristics isolated, the geographical isolated condition or landlocked condition. I think the government has to come forward to take the proactive, mainly steps towards promoting the skill development infrastructure in Northeast region. So based on that, the even for developing, or you can say development of the entrepreneurship development, the stimulating entrepreneurship through business training, And investment grants, mainly you can say the government has to come forward to provide the sufficient timely grants, large scale investment in infrastructure, well-designed interventions will improve the lives of the Northeast region through the promoting entrepreneurship development in India as well as Northeast region. So based on that, I think the government of India has to come forward, as well as the state government also can initiate more and more the schemes and development programs promoting mainly skill development or entrepreneurship development through the entrepreneur skills. I think you can say the Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship Development. I think they had to come forward to provide the more and more infrastructure, more and more fund allocation, providing more and more employment, particularly those who are having the trained, those who have the, you can say, skilled, and those who are having the vocationally qualified students. I think they should be. So based on that, I think you can say how the Skill India mission is promoting through, I think the providing technical as well as vocational training and promoting against like the entrepreneurship development in India as well as Northeast region. That I think you can like the last slide, the Sarvada Vigyata Vijaya, that is the skill always wins. So based on that, I will end this lecture.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Sir, there are some questions in chat box.
Chat box, no?
So should I read or you will take up one by one?
No, I'll say on one by. Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning. Okay. Okay, PPT is not visible for me. It's more, okay, mine only. Good morning, sir. Sir, PPT is no more. So can Skill India program really effective to observe surplus uneducated manpower in rural areas of the country? Whether it will become productive or creative additional productivity? Yes, obviously, for example, nowadays, as the government, main motive also to provide more skills, because, taking the agriculture sector also, already I given the examples. So earlier, where you can slide the tenancy system was taken, land lease market was taken place. So that time, the marginal small farmers, they are taking lands from the landlords, since they're having a very small piece of lands, which is not sufficient to meet their self-sufficiency. They're taking land from the landlords or the one who is absentee landlordism. So nowadays, what happened when the dynamic economy is taking place, when the technological advancements taking place, when you can select the other, the mechanization, modernization, commercialization, corporatization, capitalization of agriculture was taken place. So many companies coming forward to take into consideration of the agriculture activities also, like Reliance Fresh or Walmart or GMart or Israel Technology, they're coming to India to take up the projects. So now they have the very good technology machines, mainly like each and every aspect, they have the technology, they have the machines. So when they're replacing, particularly you can select, but you can replacing, and the people needs, the companies needs the technical knowledge people to operate the machines. So based on that, can Skill India program really effective means mainly you can select ITIs or IITs or IIMs, or you can select all professional institutes of polytechnics. So now they're getting better jobs when compared to the one who is clearing, the one who is getting the BA or BCom or MA or MCom, MSc or whatever. So obviously, because of that, the government of India mainly wants to, because always depending on a government job is not possible. So because of that, I think when you want to create your own jobs, see, earlier I'm working under someone, now I can start my own business and many people I'm employing, because now you are the employer and the many people are working under you as employees. So based on that here, there is no doubt at all when we are going to get according to the latest technology, when the people, the industries needs. Obviously, the Skill India programs really effective. Yes, it's obviously is effective. And the surplus labor mainly can select, particularly in many industries, when the government also wants to 2027, India wants to be high advanced country, high developed country, or developed countries. It means when you're going to set the more and more industries, we have there is no, shortage of the raw material. We have very good rich potentials where raw material is available. For example, if you see the agro-based industry, there is no doubt at all. A cotton, a sugarcane, a groundnut, a cashew nut, you are exporting to other countries. So when we are going to set up agglomeration of the industrial location, I think you can select particularly in UP, the sugarcane production is very high. And if you see that, for example, Punjab, Haryana, highly agrarian countries are highly advanced states. So based on that, there is no doubt at all. I think in case, for example, in coming future, when the technology plays a very, very important role, and if we are not knowing, we are not going to update, we are not going to enhance, if we are not going to enrich your technical skills, I think it's not possible to survive. So based on here, the Skill India program really effective. Yes, it's effective. And the whether it become the productive or creating additional productivity, yes, obviously, for example, take agriculture, take industry as a service sector. Today, I think you can select the highest number migrating to other countries because after completing the IIM, as an MBA, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Shillong, or whatever, you can select other IIMs. They're very good getting the package 1.5, 2 crores, 2.5 crores. You see the Satya Nadella is from India. You see the this Microsoft, or you can select the other Google. All Indians, they're working. I think you can select recently that flow. You can Orkut or Twitter, he removed, he fired that person. He also belongs to India. So based on when we have the technical skills. So because of that, I think the Indians mainly can like when you're improving and you're this enriching the knowledge, technical skills, I think there is no doubt at all the production productivity is going to be enhanced or enriched. So based on that, I think it can accelerate it. So there is no doubt the whether it will become the productive or creating additional productivity. Yes, obviously, can like for example, in 1947, that 1 acre productivity is only 555 kgs. Today, we are using the high advanced technology, using the tractors, power tillers, or you can crane cutters, or you can select harvesting combines, or threshers, or winnowers. Now, productivity is more than 7,500 kilograms per hectare. You just imagine how many times are increased. So based on that, there is no doubt at all where it will be increased automatically. Already showing the results. So because of that, I think maybe because of COVID situation, COVID scenario, COVID pandemic, I think the productivity levels as well as the growth levels are declined. But in future, I think you can like when normalcy comes, automatically the productivity is going to be increased. There is no doubt at all. And one more, what should be your suggestion to create banking habits among the agriculturists? Yeah, the problem is actually as agriculturists, agriculture economists, the condition is actually in India, more than 67% of marginal small farmers, still they're depending on non-farmer sector or informal sector. Now, mainly, for example, if they want to go to bank to access or attain the credit or avail the credit, the lot of transaction cost is very high because they have to go to urban cities where the bank is located. Now, I think now the number of banks are declined, earlier merging with the government sector banks. And when the village to urban, I think they had to go by transportation. And again, the marginal farmers, small farmers, not only cultivating, even they're working with agricultural laborers also. If they're going 2-3 days, they're losing their employment of agricultural labor. That is also another loss. And going and giving some bribes. And again, they had to wait and wait. Again, they had to take food, everything. So based on that here, mainly particularly India, more than 85% of farmers belongs to the marginal small farmers. They want, I think they wants to depend on the informal sector mainly because of that, though we are paying 2 rupees, 3 rupees extra when compared to bank's rate of interest 8%, 9%. But still, they're not willing to go to bank costs because the banks, we have to put the collateral security or mortgage security. Again, there we have to give the bribe to even the filling the application also we have to give the money. So there are many reasons why the agriculture farmers mainly can like the banks also they're not giving interest, they're not giving importance for the giving the loans for the agriculture people. They are always giving the priority for the corporates because they are taking the huge crores of land, crores of money, where the agriculture farmers, marginal small farmers, they're taking only 10,000, 20,000. The large farmers, maybe they can take 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, which is negligible for the banking sector because they want to expand the banks. I think this giving only 10,000, 5,000, getting only some few amount as interest is not sufficient. Because of that, even farmer side also there is a lacuna is there, and banking side also there are many restrictions. You can select many, particularly there is a complexity in procedures, formalities are discouraging the farmers to go to banks to take the loans from the banking institution. That is another important, mainly the reasons why the agriculture farmers are not getting the loans from the banks.
Sir, few more questions are there.
Yes, when we go through the maintaining growth with skill development, is there any possibility of compromising sustainable development on environment? Yes, sir. Obviously, there is a pros and cons. There is no doubt at all. For example, if you want to bring it more and more land agriculture, we have to go for deforestation. That is all automatically. Even similarly, if we are going to get the more and more productivity when using high advanced techniques like power tillers or crane cutters, or you can say highly chemical fertilizers, pesticides, obviously there will be damage or hazard for the environment. There is no doubt at all. See, for example, when you go for skill development, particularly the high advanced technology we have earlier, only bullock plow I think we are using, and nowadays I think high power tillage machines we have, and high power chemical fertilizers, whether chemical fertilizers, pesticide, weedicide, fungicide, insecticide, everything we are using the chemicals. So obviously the damage, see, that's what, no, actually, since I came from Andhra Pradesh, where Chittoor district. So Israel technology was adopted in that one Cheldiganipalli. I think you can Google it also. Cheldiganipalli in Chittoor district, where the Israel technology was initiated. The first 5 years, they got the bumper harvested. Every time what? They invested 1,000 rupees, they got more than 20,000 rupees profits. But after 5 years, so whatever you put in the lot of investment, the output is declining. So obviously, because of that, why when you are using the high advanced technology, when you're absorbing or extracting or exploiting all the natural soil fertility condition, the land becomes useless. Because after 5 years, the Israel technology, the people, the company, they're giving back the lands to the farmers. And after the farmers, whatever they want to cultivate is not coming up. So based on that here, yes, the skill, see, the technology having the boon as well as bane. The technology having one side, the positive as well as the negative side as well. Based on that here, when you're adopting the skill development or technical development, not skill only, skill means, but you can say like using the skills, there is no doubt. But when you're using the high power technology, then I think there is a problem with sustainability and environmental conditions. So that is, I think you can say like the growth with the skill development, mainly to learn, to know, to enrich knowledge regarding how to use properly or efficiently. There is no negative. When you are trying to exploit, to extract more and more productivity, or to become the rich and rich by a very span of time, I think you are going to exploit. When you're going to use a high exploitation, then automatically the negative impact is going to create it. Sir, can you think without creating proper health infrastructure, skill development possible? Yes, skill is, for example, skill development, skill health infrastructure is very important. So for example, even because of skill development, because of technological development, today the many people are getting, even earlier there was no diabetic, there was no BP patients. Now everywhere, I think after 30-40 years, become BP patients or sugar diabetic patients are increasing, because the way you are taking food, all chemical fertilizers with everything. So obviously the health infrastructure is very essential, particularly. So because of that, I think the government, the private sector, everywhere, the multi-super specialty hospital coming up. So that is not possible. Even without health infrastructure, the skill development, mainly the skill means, so not only for agriculture, not only for industry, no, skill means each and every, even the health infrastructure, also skill development. That is, I think, no, now we need, without creating the health infrastructure, skill development is not possible. Yes, that is not, it's not possible, because both when we are using technology, again, we're getting the health hazards. Again, to overcome the health hazards, again, we need the health infrastructure. So based on that, I think creating a proper health infrastructure is not possible. I think no use of skill development, because skill is giving both ways. I think positive, negative way. And other one is government is initiated number of development programs for the upliftment of people, like skill development programs, but majority rural people do not aware of it. This people participation is lacking. My question is that how to aware the people to take benefits from the various departments, programs. See, actually that is no. Now people are having the technology, even mobile phones, or even the rural people also using the technology. I think smartphones are there, radios are still they're using FM radios. There are many media, print media, electronic media is there. So everywhere I can find government schemes, how they're implementing. Now I think the voluntary system is there on some areas. I think you can select the posters and banners everywhere. I think there is I don't think so. They say no, people, even rural people also, they are aware about that. Even Jan Dhan Yojana scheme is there, or Atal Bihari Pension Yojana, even Rait Mitra. I think the government of India every year they're giving the 6,000 rupees for the farmers. Everyone knows. I think I don't think so. No, the people are not aware about the government schemes. What? Because even the central government also the effectively implementing whatever the program implementing, at the same time they are bringing the more importance for the awareness about the what schemes we're implementing and all things. I don't think so. People are not aware about the programs what the government, because even vaccine certificate also our program or our prime minister name photo is there. So I don't think so. That is no. I think people are already aware about what government schemes are implementing, because now I think everywhere print media, electronic media are working very effectively, and people also watching the TVs, people also watching the mobiles, people also watching even FM radio also. Along with the FM radio, sometimes the advertisement also coming. So I don't think so. Maybe very inter places though they may not getting, but majority I think I think everyone is getting the information. If our uneducated rural people.
Yes, so thank you, sir, for elaborate response to each of the questions,
So
and
thank
very
you, sir.
nice presentation also.
Yes,
So
thank you.
with this, on behalf of all the participants and on behalf of HRDC coordinator Manoj
Thank you
Verma
so
and
much.
myself,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes.
thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So, dear friends, we'll rearrange. We will meet again at 1:30, and at 1:30 we are going to have third session with Professor Lal Niloma. He is head department of Extension Education and Rural Development in Mizoram University, and he will be talking on building community leaders. So, let us join at 1:30. Okay. Till then, take your lunch and take little rest. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.